So we found several letters in 26 boxes of Goodwin's collection that had to do with Oak Island.
A hidden cache, no 3 hidden caches, marked not by chance, but by a map no one could prove was real. A sketch with markings, X's, squares, carved stones. It all sounded like a fairy tale, until the team put boots on the ground and realized that fairy tales sometimes leave behind hard evidence. The key? A map rediscovered in the personal papers of William B. Goodwin, a wealthy historian obsessed with Oak Island since the early 1930s. His connection to Frederick Blair, the original money pit searcher, was undeniable. Goodwin had claimed to see a treasure map. The real problem? The original was gone, but Goodwin's version, his notes, diagrams, and theories survived, and that was enough to send Rick, Marty, Doug, and Terry chasing ghosts across lots 1 and 21. This wasn't some blurry image with guesses and ink blotches. This was a hand-marked diagram, complete with coordinates, boulders, symbols, and paths. 3 boulders were marked, 3 separate treasure spots. The first stone had a big carved X on it. The second had a series of square shapes. And the third? That one looked like it had been blasted by lightning. At first, it was all theory. Gary Drayton, metal detector in hand, didn't expect much. And one of the things here we found in his notes on Oak Island is Goodwin calls it the Blair Treasure Map. Most maps on Oak Island lead to old junk, tree roots, or disappointment. But something about the first stone made people stop. A wide, flat boulder with a carved X, clean, unmistakable, and exactly where the map said it would be. If this was a coincidence, it was an incredibly precise one. The metal detector didn't ping. No iron, no copper, no buried chest of coins. But the team wasn't discouraged. The next step was to locate the second stone, described as having square carvings arranged around an X. And they found it. The shapes were weathered, but they were there. More importantly, they matched the description written by Goodwin nearly 100 years ago. 2 markers, 2 hits, no treasure. Yet. Then came the curveball. This map wasn't just marking boulders. It included distances, directions, landmarks. It described walking 91 feet back inland, parallel to Center Road. There, it said one would find a kidney-shaped stone, the kind of natural landmark too specific to be a coincidence. If this third marker existed, the team would know they were dealing with something much more than a historian's imagination. And that's when the adrenaline kicked in. The team paced out the exact measurement. They moved through brush and uneven ground. And there it was, a lumpy curved stone that mimicked the exact shape of a kidney bean. 3 for 3. 3 exact matches to a map no one could even confirm was authentic, but the ground said otherwise. Gary swept his metal detector again. Nothing, no treasure, no spike, but the landmarks were validating the map. The implications were huge. This wasn't just another dig spot. This was a code waiting to be cracked. And just when the energy began to drop, Judy Rudebush read the final line in Goodwin's notes. 1 more boulder. This one cleaved across the top like it had been struck by lightning. Let's look in this direction. Okay, we'll check out this way. Okay, mate, we're looking for a big flat stone. It's supposed to have a big X on it. The team followed the terrain, guided by instinct in the map's final clues. And they found it. A boulder shattered in half, jagged, weathered with a hollow beneath. Gary stepped forward and swept once again. This time the detector screamed. It was loud, unmistakable, a strong, sharp signal. The team leaned in. Beneath the stone, buried under decades of soil and silence, they pulled out something cold, heavy, iron. But this wasn't just a nail or a tool. It was an old cribbing spike, hand-forged and dated by eye to at least the 1700s, possibly earlier. This wasn't trash. This was placed, purposeful, and what Vanessa Lucido was about to do next would push the dig even deeper. Literally, the ground that wouldn't stay quiet. Vanessa Lucido didn't need more reasons to dig, but now she had them. The forged spike found beneath the cleaved boulder wasn't just old, it was out of place, You don't bury industrial tools under marked stones for no reason. This wasn't trash tossed aside during construction. This was placed with intent, and that made it personal. Vanessa, ever the tactician, called for ground reinforcement teams and cleared her ROC equipment crew to prepare. The next phase wasn't about theories. It was about proving something had been hidden and maybe left behind. Drilling was set to go deep, over 200 feet into what was once believed to be undisturbed soil. But what if it wasn't undisturbed at all? Marty Lagina pushed hard. More caissons, smaller diameters, faster deployment. Vanessa agreed. 7 to 8 foot caissons would get them in quicker, give them flexibility, let them surround the target zone if needed. The island had shown them hints. Now it was time to make it talk. Meanwhile, something strange was unfolding across the island. Just as Vanessa prepped the drilling plan, Gary and Jack Begley were sent back out to continue sweeping the kidney stone zone. No treasure had turned up, but Gary couldn't shake the feeling that the placement of the stones wasn't random. Maybe the rocks weren't just marking spots. Maybe they were pointing to something. He started tracing invisible lines between them, imagining how the stones might connect. From the cleaved boulder to the kidney-shaped stone, from the carved X boulder to the squared one, something about it echoed precision, geometry, survey lines. This wasn't nature. This was designed. And then came the twist. A survey stake was found jammed deep into the soil between the second and third stones. Its shape was old, its depth unnatural, its location perfectly aligned with the map's layout. The team had seen stakes like this before, most notably in the swamp, where Fred Nolan once discovered similar posts carbon dated back to the 1500s. That changed everything. Suddenly, the scope of this map extended beyond the page. It was reaching across time. But this raised new questions. If these stakes dated back to the 16th century, who placed them? And more importantly, what were they trying to hide? The team's focus shifted fast. Attention returned to the North Swamp, where strange layers of planks and platforms were being unearthed. Structures that looked too methodical to be accidental. Historian Doug Crowell flagged something no one had noticed earlier. The elevation of the layered swamp steps was identical to the cobbled stone path found seasons ago. Could these planks be part of the same system? Could they be the foundation for moving something heavy, valuable, maybe even sealed in crates across terrain that wasn't stable? Dr. Ian Spooner was called in. His reaction? Quiet disbelief. The wood looked old, very old. The degradation pattern suggested that it had been laid with purpose and then left, forgotten but not by time. Spooner mentioned that these planks stretched farther than expected, deeper too. This wasn't a dock. It was something bigger, something industrial. That word again, industrial, as if Oak Island was once a factory, not of machines but of hidden answers. Back on Lot 1, Vanessa's team broke ground. The ROC drill roared into motion, pushing through clay and sand with relentless precision. The first caisson was sunk to over 100 feet, then 150. At 200 feet, the drill hit resistance, a layer of stone, then wood. Old wood. Vanessa ordered core samples extracted. When the first core came up, it was blackened, charred, burned timber deep underground. Why would something be burned 200 feet beneath the surface? Rick studied the fragment. It wasn't recent. The burn pattern looked aged, the structure brittle. Rick knew what this meant. They weren't just digging through time. They were digging through someone else's cover-up. Something had been burned to hide it, or worse, to seal it away. Vanessa called for a second core. More wood, this time with cut marks, sawn edges. Hand-cut, not machine-made. Now, the mood shifted, because hand-cut timbers found that deep mint structure, possibly a tunnel, possibly a shaft. And the old records? They mentioned tunnel systems extending westward from the money pit, tunnels no one had verified until now. The core samples continued. Then came the discovery that changed the entire game. Vanessa's team retrieved something heavy lodged within the third core. It wasn't stone. It wasn't wood, it was metal, oxidized, green-hued, fused to the side of the timber like it had been wedged there, intentionally. The lab couldn't identify it immediately, but the early analysis showed trace elements of gold. This wasn't just another relic. This was the first physical clue that something valuable might actually be down there, and the deeper they went, the stranger it got. Markers in the mud. While Vanessa Lucido's team pushed deeper into the caisson shaft, the discoveries were beginning to stack up like layers in the island's soil. Each one older, each one darker. The metal fragment containing trace gold stunned everyone. The question wasn't just what it was, but why it had been embedded inside a burned timber more than 200 feet below the surface. The implications ran deep, just like the shaft they were drilling. And it didn't stop there. The next core sample brought up something even stranger. Textile. A fragment of cloth.